Hello friends! Today I'll be planning the final week of March. I'll be checking to see what is left to do to wrap up the month. But before we get into that, let's quickly go over the past week. It looks like on Monday I had high aspirations, but not everything got done. I am very happy that I did the laundry and folded and put it away on the same day, which is a big improvement over earlier in the month where I missed a whole week of folding laundry. On Tuesday, I had a pretty full day with just the events. I had dropped off the foster cat to get neutered and picked him up at the end of the day. In the midst of all that, I went for a walk with one of my friends. So honestly, that did not leave time for much else. As the poor kitty needed to recover, I had planned to be home the next few days and keep an eye on him. I did really good on Wednesday, getting a lot of things done. And Thursday, I made a big push to get a bunch of things done. And here are a few clips from that day. Hey guys, I'm checking in with you on Thursday. I just want to show you something different that I'm doing today in the way that I'm planning out my day. I think we've all pondered at one time or another, where does the day go? In theory, it seems that you may have so many available hours. For me and my brain, I often think to myself, well, I have so ever many hours. For example, I have a day off. I can get so much done during that time. And the tasks that I have in mind shouldn't take that long. So you would think I'd be able to get a lot done. But inevitably, I always spend my day thinking about what to do, procrastinating, taking breaks, just generally dilly-dallying, and before I know it, it's the end of the day and I didn't do half the things I wanted to. So today I want to show you the strategy that I'll be utilizing. I pretty much have 4.5 hours of uninterrupted free time today, and I want to see how much I can cram into that time. If it goes well, I want to enjoy my evening and the satisfaction of having been productive with nothing else looming over me. So like I said, we're going to do a big push to get some stuff done today. All right, so here's the plan. I'm working on organizing and decluttering my pantry. That's a project I started yesterday, as it is one of the goals for this month to get that done. I spent about an hour in there yesterday, and I want to spend another hour working in there today. I'm not sure I'll be able to finish everything in an hour, but I'm hoping to get a big chunk done. However, I am limiting myself to that 1 hour. I don't want to go above that, mainly because sometimes it is easier to start when you have a defined end time and the task seems less overwhelming. I also want to spend an hour working in my journal. Mostly what this means is I'll be recording some of my yearly setups for the video that's coming out tomorrow. This way I'm getting a head start on getting that video done. Next, I want to spend an hour gardening. It's a bit wet here today, so I don't know if I'm going to go out into the garden, but I have been putting off planting some seeds indoors, so I definitely want to get that done today. And with research and setup, I think an hour should be enough. And finally, I want to spend an hour doing some cleaning tasks. And for this, I did put some sub-tasks of things that I actually want to get done throughout that hour. And now that I'm looking at it, those might be a little ambitious to be done within an hour, but hopefully picking up won't take me a full 20 minutes. I don't have that many dishes to do, so some of these things might be quick and easy. We'll see. But if I can get everything done, that would be awesome. If not, that's okay too, as long as I spend that hour doing it. As an aside, whatever I do record, the recording might be stealing a little bit of time here and there, because doing stuff is one thing, but doing things that you're trying to record, that's totally different and takes much longer. So I will be trying to maintain some balance with that. All right, without further ado, let me get going on my list. I'll check in with you later. Okay, just checking in. I did work on my journal and I did record most of the footage for tomorrow's video. I have to say I did get sucked in and I spent more than an hour working on this, so time is running low. Even my pen worked so hard that it needs a break. Okay, the next thing I'm going to work on is an hour devoted to the pantry. This is where I'm at. All right, I did work on my pantry, and since I wanted to finish up one more shelf, I did go over my allotted hour. This is good and bad. It's good because I'm getting stuff done, obviously, and it can be a great hack when you don't want to get something started. Schedule yourself to do it for just 5, 10, 15 minutes, and before you know it, you're into the task and you do it for much longer and you get stuff done. But it's also bad because that pushes up my other things that I want to get done and draws out my day. Thankfully, I have a lot of cushion time today today, so if anything needs to get pushed back significantly, I'll still probably have enough time to get it done. I'm not sure if I'll have enough energy though. I guess we'll just see. For now, I'll take about a 5-minute break and then work on my next hour, and this hour I'll do some cleaning. I made it just in time, and look at this shiny thing. I did get my cleaning done all in 1 hour. It took me less than 20 minutes to pick things up, so that really helped. I have to say I did not do the best job of dusting. I really didn't realize how many places there are to dust, and I did not feel like I was doing a very good job. I think my idea of dusting is more like a deep cleaning, and once I start dusting, I am just finding more and more nooks and crannies. Now it's 3 o'clock. I was hoping to be done by this point, but because some of the other tasks took longer than an hour, and then I did take about a 20-minute break for a snack, I still have one project left. Although I went over the allotted time, I am very, very happy with how much I was able to do. And this really put into perspective how much can actually get done in a relatively short period of time if you really focus on the task. Now we come to Friday, and although the list here on Friday doesn't look that impressive, a lot of time was devoted to these tasks. Friday's video took me a long time to edit and put together, and finishing organizing the pantry was a task I was dreading. The previous day I had pulled out a bunch of things that needed to go somewhere else, a pile of things that I was getting rid of, and a few things that needed to go back into the pantry. I just had to do some mental gymnastics to figure out how and where. So although this was a very hard task to start, I'm very, very happy with the results. If you want to see a before and after and how many things I ended up getting rid of, please check out my goal update video, which is going to come out on Wednesday, and I'll have all of that in there. Finally, Saturday was a big success and a big fail all in one. First, I had really tried to do as many tasks as I needed to do for the week earlier in the week, so that I would not have a bunch of things left over to do at the end. And in that respect, I did very well. Secondly, I have been trying to plant some seeds, and I was struggling to get that task started. Saturday was a beautiful day here, so I did finally get to that. I did very well, and I was so happy to finally get this task done and excited to see how things would work out. I had seeded roughly 5 trays of vegetables and flowers and set them out in that portable little greenhouse I had recently put together. I had found just the right sunny spot. I placed my seeded trays on the shelves. I zipped everything up, and that's where I made a critical error. The little greenhouse had come with some stakes to stake it into the ground, and I don't know what I was thinking, but unfortunately, I had completely spaced on the fact that that was not going to be sufficient. So I'm sure you can guess what happened next. That's right. Just a few hours later, the greenhouse had toppled over. Now, I don't know if I was more angry or sad, but this disaster ruined my whole day. I'm so annoyed with myself because I distinctly remember thinking multiple times as I was setting all this up and finding the right place for the greenhouse that I have to take into account that I need to tie this down to some surrounding structure. But unfortunately, I guess in my excitement of getting this project done, that completely escaped my mind. Of course, what did not help was that the afternoon became increasingly more windy, and my poor little greenhouse did not stand a chance. In all honesty, I have not even gone out there to see the damage, simply because I'm not over it. So all of that to say is that I do not want to share any footage of me planting the seeds. It just makes me too sad. But I will go out there before I edit the video and snap a quick picture for you of the disaster that I have on my hands now. On a brighter note, let's flip back and see how my trackers are looking now that this week is done. As far as my habits tracker is concerned, it's not looking bad. I'm still struggling with flossing, apparently. My cleaning tracker is looking really good. I got everything done for the week, and I did end up getting a few more things done from my monthly tasks. This means that in this coming week, I have to wash the tub, clean out my car, and deep clean the litter boxes from my monthly tasks. But there are also a few other ones that I want to get done from my quarterly tasks, since winter is officially over, I want to wash my car, and that's going to go hand in hand with cleaning it out. So by the end of the month, I will end up with a nice clean car. I also want to wash my blankets and deep clean the little rugs that I have just to refresh things for spring. And finally, I really want to review my food pantry to see what's in there, what needs to get used up, but also to prepare for a very exciting challenge that I'll be undertaking starting April 1st. Now, I'm not ready to share the details of that just yet because this idea was just born in my mind today, and I made the decision just a few hours ago that this is what I want to take on, even after I had brainstormed yesterday as to what I want my next month to look at. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's finish March before we get into April. As for events for this final week, I have a lot of things up in the air. I'm in the process of some job changes, which will essentially double my work hours, but I don't have a specific date when that will start. That means that I'm also trying to cram in a lot of different things into the days ahead, just so I have less on my plate with the new month coming, with the job change, with the new challenge I want to do. It'll just be a lot of time-consuming changes. So any appointments or anything else that I need to take care of, especially during the day, I really want to make sure that I get as much of that in this week as I can. And I am still figuring all that out, so fingers crossed I don't forget anything. In terms of my goals, it's not looking bad at all. I've made some good progress so far. My focus this week is going to be on the filing of the taxes and the random to-do list, and I'll get more into that in my goal check-in on Wednesday. So now there's nothing left to do but set up my week. Oops, looks like I used the wrong end of my marker here. So I got a little wonky line, but that's okay. It's not about the lines, it's about the spaces between them. Hashtag words of wisdom. Now for this week, this extra line here was not an accident. We have 9 days of the month left. So for this week's plan, I'll be putting in all 9 days on this one page so that I can finish out the month and then start the first week of April on a fresh page. Okay, the space for the final week of March is all set up and ready for my to-do list. Today, as I'm recording this, it is Sunday the 23rd. I've mentioned in the past that the weekends are a busy time for me. With the new work schedule, that might change to where I will not be doing as much work on the weekends and doing more of it during the weekdays, or at least spreading it out more evenly, therefore giving me some extra time on the weekend to work on stuff. Because trust me, in the next few months, I will be squeezing out every drop of time that I have. And together, we're going to find out how that works out for me. So today, I'm going to put on my list a video. By the way, my writing's extra atrocious today. I don't know what's happening. For now, I won't be adding anything else to my Sunday. I don't want to be too ambitious. But if things work out, I might even try and publish this video today instead of Monday. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.